Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Poem Master video, and tonight Morty and Drifblim's banner, it's Spotlight Scout banner, will be coming to Poem Masters. Let me stop that video for a second, I don't even know what that is. There's a lot of ads on Game Press, but anyways, again, Morty and Drifblim, they're coming tonight, and as usual, I will be streaming summons for that. Hopefully it goes relatively well, because this banner is not that great, right? It's a Spotlight banner, which, again, it's not the worst thing. People like trash Spotlight Scout banners a lot. It's obviously, in general, it doesn't have as high value, usually as Pokemon, but they're generally okay-ish. It depends on the unit. For example, Serena's banner is fantastic, right? Sabrina's banner was really good as well. But yeah, it's on a Spotlight Scout, but like again, the unit itself isn't extremely special either. Plus, we have the very big factor of the anniversary is coming in, relatively soon. I think a bit over a month. So you should probably start saving. People are calling this banner bait. This is not a bait. I mean, a bait banner would be something like Serena's banner, which is actually good, and you would probably summon on. Drifblim's kind of whatever. I mean, unless you like Morty, you're a huge Morty fan, which I know there's a lot of, I like Morty. Morty's cool. Although it doesn't make sense for him to get Drifblim. Why wouldn't Fantina get Drifblim and then Morty get Miss Magus? That would make much more sense. But apparently they didn't want to do that, and that's kind of annoying. But anyways, that aside, let's just go into the unit first, and generally you talk about why you probably shouldn't summon on this banner, right? So, Morty Drifblim, looking at its stats first. Anyway, let's go for the basic stuff first. It's Ghost type, weak to Electric, Physical Striker, although it does have a special attacking move as well. 5-star. So 700 HP, which is a lot. That's a lot of HP, right? A lot of HP. 343 attack, which is fine attack. For a striker. 102 defense, which is bad. 102 special defense, which is bad. But again, you have 700 HP, so there's that. And then you have 283 special attack, which is not the best, but it's more than Ethan. So there's that, I guess. Do keep that because the dude does have a special attacking move. And then 300 speed, which is surprisingly decent, considering all his other stats. So overall, dude has solid stats. Solid all around stats. As for the moveset, you got Shadow Ball, Dart Hit Plus, Phantom Force, and Pierce the Veil as its trainer move. So Shadow Ball is Shadow Ball. Again, if you want to run him as a special striker, you can use that as well. It's just probably there just in case you run out of Phantom Force, because Phantom Force is a quick move. It only has three uses, so that's your only attacking option when you run out of Shadow Forces, which is possible, right? It's also possible that you could never run out of them, which we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, Shadow Ball, it's a solid attacking move. It's also the third, fourth, fifth unit that has Shadow Ball. I think Gengar also has Shadow Ball, right? Actually, no, it's Gengar Hex. Gengar Shadow Ball. Dusclops doesn't have Shadow Ball. Chandelure, I think, also has Shadow Ball. Or is it Hex? It's Hex and Shadow Ball, right? Hex and Shadow Ball. And then Mewtwo has Shadow Ball, and then Miss Magus has Shadow Ball. It's another unit with Shadow Ball. We know what Shadow Ball is. Moving on, Dire Hit Plus, which is pretty straightforward. Let's go over the trainer move first before we go over Phantom Force. Trainer move sharply raises user's attack, substantially raises user's attack if the user is affected by a status condition. Raises user's special attack and evasiveness. Sharply raises user's special attack and evasiveness if the user is affected by a status condition. So you can essentially get your attack to plus 6 if you want. But you have to be under a status condition, and also you could also get your special attack to +4 as well, but again, you also need that to be under a status condition, and also same with evasiveness. So Drifblim's kind of weird. As for Phantom Force, it's a 160 power move that it's a quick move, 100% accuracy, physical, has 3 uses. The user takes on a Phantom Presence stance. After a set time, the presence fades and the user attacks. No other attacks can be taken while in Phantom Presence. Opponent's moves will not hit the user while in its presence. If the user is hit by a sync move, while in Phantom presence will fade. So that's pretty standard. It's the same thing with endurance, sturdy, all that stuff. You know, if you get hit by a sync move, you know, none of that matters. Shield, no one cares. Sync move will break it. So same thing with Phantom Force. But if you're hit by if you're targeted, you're getting hit by regular moves, you will not get hit by those. So that's obviously really nice. And from what it seems like, you need to get status for this and all that. And, you know, once you look at the grid, it's pretty evident as well. It does seem like the game wants Morty to be the tank. Again, with, you know, good HP, but, like, not really good defenses. But you also do have evasion as well on Pierce the Veil. So there's also that. As for some other stuff, your sync move, 250 power, Mystic Sphere Phantom Force. Pretty straightforward, a physical 250 ghost type move with no additional effect. As for your passive skills, you have Shook 2, which raises or sharply raises the user's speed when the user's HP drops to half or below for the first time in a battle. It's nice, I guess. Last word is last word. Explosion once you die. Benefactor transfers the sync pair stat increases to a sync pair that will switch in when the sync pair switches out. So this is actually really good because we do have a Benefactor that gives off crit, which we never had before, right? This is definitely better than Pass It On because Pass It On is only half the stats. And Pass It On, you also have to wait for the unit to faint. So Benefactor is obviously much better because you give like all the stats, and you could also switch out whenever you want, right? It's obviously much better than what Dusknoir provides in that sense. But however, Dusknoir does give buffs for the whole team as well. But you know, if you're just trying to use it for yourself, you're using it on a unit. Like I think they're trying to like fix co-op with this unit, so that units or strikers without like enough self buffs, because like self buffs aren't like that big of a deal in single player, but it is pretty big of a deal in co-op, right? So a lot of units without self buffs could just get crit or special attack or physical attack from Drifblim, and then Drifblim can swap into them. So something like a Metagross, right? Metagross, even though it does have crit, it's not like as reliable. So you could just start the game out, direct hit plus twice, and then Benefactor swap into Metagross. Boom, Metagross has crit, right? Or whatever other unit that doesn't have crit. That's a good example. I don't know. I can't think of off the top of my head. I think Miss Magus. Well, actually, I think Miss Magus does have crit, right? Actually, no. I think Miss Magus doesn't have crit. Miss Magus has move gauge. No, not move gauge. It is move gauge NX. Oh, yeah, it does have crit, but it's not 100%. Something like that. Or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of units that don't have, like Fraligator. That's another one that doesn't have crit. For some reason, it's just nothing's coming to my mind right now. But yeah, stuff like Fraligator, whatever, right? Just other strikers, that would really like. I mean, a lot of strikers have crit. How doesn't have crit? You just buff the crit, swap in there, or if you don't have certain other attack or special attack buffs, you could do that as well, especially as physical attack, because you do get sharply here. Although it's not like that reliable in comparison. Because if you want max, you still need to get status, so there's that as well. But anyways, it's a really good Benefactor unit, that's for sure. So there's that. Anyways, moving on to its Synchro. Its Synchro is definitely really interesting because, like, as you can see over here, it does really seem like that they want you to tank with Drifblim and also get Drifblim status for Pierce the Veil, right? So in its Synchro, it does have Gritty 5, which is an extra 50% buff to your damage if you are affected by a status condition. So this definitely increases the incentive to use Drifblim as a tank and to tank statuses. Obviously, there is a caveat of you don't always get statuses. Not every stage has statuses, and stages with statuses, not all of them are 100%. A lot of them aren't, and also, I guess Battleville is a better example. The opponent's moves aren't really in order. Legendary Arena is in order, but stuff like Battleville, they're not really in order. So you don't even if they do have status moves, you don't exactly know when they're gonna throw it out. Like if you're lucky, they'll throw it out early. If you're unlucky, then at the end of the game and you're still waiting for them to status you, and then you just miss out on a lot of stuff, right? So there's that as well. You got the standard Phantom Force power ups. These are relatively expensive for low power ups, but again, Phantom Force already has a really good base power, so there's that, I guess. As for some other stuff, you got Phantom Force MP Refresh 3. You got 2 of these, so I wouldn't worry too much about Phantom Force's MP because you have 3 to begin with, and then you have like 2 refreshes. So like theoretically, like if you go down to 0 and like both of these activate, then you go from 0 to 2. So again, it's really if you're at 1, you could go from 1 to 3. If both these activate, which again that's 40% on each. So really good chance you'll get Phantom Force refreshes relatively often. So you don't really have to worry too much about Phantom Force running out. If you want to make Drifblim like a full just physical striker, don't want to worry about shadow balling or being forced to shadow ball. So there's that as well. As for some other stuff, you could also sync nuke. You have 4 sync nodes over here, and then you also have, I could find it, blind spot, which again, more the evasiveness is raised, more powers up sync moves, and obviously Drifblim does have self evasion buffs. If you don't have that, you could also still use Starmie, but Starmie with Drifblim would be a terrible idea, just because Starmie Starmie is like the only unit to raise evasiveness, so like we really need like another unit that could reliably raise evasiveness of your teammates, right? Because Starmie again is the only unit that like reliably raises evasiveness, but Starmie also really hurts Drifblim if you run them on the same team, just because you also have Healing Hand, which has a moderate chance of removing all status conditions from all allied sync pairs after the Pokemon uses a move, which you do not want that to happen, because once you get a status condition, you want to keep that status condition on your Drifblim, right? So Starmie's gonna be really weird combo, like unless you're just like going for like full sync nuke, because if you are going for a full sync nuke, then you don't really have to worry about the status, right? Because well you still need actually never mind, you do have like from Misty, you do have like +4 evasion, right? I think it is +4. Yeah. So +4, and then like from the buffs that you get from Morty Drifblim, which is only +1. But like there's like +2 here if you use it twice, and then +4 here, then you're at +6 evasion. Because like Gritty doesn't affect sync moves, so you don't have to worry about that. So I guess you could still run them together. It's just like slightly weird, but it's doable actually. Now that I actually think about it. You also got Pressure Cook 4. Once you're in a pinch, you reduce your sync move countdown by 1. That paired with its passive, Shook 2, makes it seem like they want, again, another sign that they want you to use it as a tank, so you take damage, all that stuff. Direct hit plus MPR, that's pretty standard. Same thing appears with the Veil, MPR. Shadow Ball, move gauge refresh, there's that as well. Demoralize, which lowers the attack of all opposing sync pairs after using the sync move. That's actually nice. I actually do kind of like that. And it's only like 5 energy as well, relatively cheap. So especially if you're like running a sync nuke build, that's really nice to have. Match ring, moderate chance of raising opponents or the Pokemon's attack when one of its attacks is successful. So it makes it that it's like not extremely reliant on getting status. And again, you could always just get like support for this anyways. It's like not that big a deal, because like this match ring 2 is like 30% for like 10 energy. So I'm not sure if you want to do that. Like again, it's not bad, but on the same time you could just get supports for that instead. That's from other stuff. Shifty Striker, small chance of raising the user's evasion. This chance is like too small. You probably don't want to go with that. And Drifblim actually does not. And here's the thing with both Match Strength and Shifty Striker, which I don't think is a good idea to put on Drifblim as well, because unless you're just mainly attacking with Shadow Ball, Phantom Force is a really bad move to use these kind of moves that has just whatever chance, raise whatever stat, because those moves are really good on units that spam moves a lot. Because Phantom Force takes, at least 2 turns, right? Again, we don't know exactly how long it takes, but at least it takes 2 turns to use a move. So your chances of them either Match Strength or Shifty Striker proccing is actually pretty low. I don't know why they put this on the grid. This is actually a really bad idea to have these 2 on the grid. They should have put something else in there. But anyways, it's an option, I guess. And then you also have Power Flux 3, which is really nice, especially paired with Phantom Force, because Phantom Force doesn't cost any gauges, so you will be at relatively high gauges for the most part when using Drifblim. Obviously, your other units aren't going to use gauge, but for Drifblim, you don't have too much an issue there, which is also another, I guess, sign of them wanting you to use Drifblim in co-op, I guess. But like on the other hand, like co-op, you don't even you can't even set aggro. Like the chance of you getting status is very low. And then you also have Special Reserve 2. Again, sharply raised special attack in the pinch. They want you to tank with Drifblim. So that's Morty Drifblim, I guess. Like I mentioned before, probably don't want to summon on this banner if you want to summon on something, Serena's banner's still up. I think Steven's banner, I don't know. I'm not sure if Steven's banner's around. But anyways, regardless, you probably don't want to summon on Steven's banner over Serena's banner unless you have Serena. Then go ahead and go for Steven's banner. But again, this banner probably not that, like, the unit is fine. It's definitely the best Ghost Striker in the game. But it's they're like the other options, Miss Vegas and Mewtwo, they're all like solid options for Ghost type, even if they're not as good as Drifblim. And Drifblim's not anything crazy, so yeah, definitely save your gems. And Versus coming soon. Whatever the heck coming there is probably gonna be at least semi-decent. So yeah, anyways, that's me with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, guys, in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this video. Subscribe to the channel for some more Pro Masters content. Do keep in mind, we will be summoning on Drifblim when that drops. So yeah, you stay tuned for that tonight, and I'll see you guys then.